appears there's war breaking out in the Middle East between Iran and Israel, and there's a lot of back and forth on it. Everybody else is covering that, but nobody's covering the media coverage of it. So that's what we're going to take a look at tonight. I've got a special guest with me with Shell from Shell Shocked, my favorite person on the internet that I've known for a very long time. We'll probably end up talking about that and much, much more because God knows she and I can't stay focused. But before that, here's a message from our sponsors at the American Beverage Association.
Our nation is standing up for American workers, restoring the pride of making products here at home. That's what we do every day. We're America's beverage companies, making American products with American workers in America's hometowns, delivering brands that have been enjoyed for generations, creating good-paying jobs, the kind that require only a strong work ethic. Because we believe in the promise of America and the people who make it great.
I want to thank our sponsor, the American Beverage Association. Also, Kalshi, kalshi.com/Tim Young. Dare I look to see what Kalshi is covering right now? What can we bet on tonight? Is there anything? Well, we're keeping it clean over. Let's see if I got, let me pull this up. Keeping it clean over on Kalshi right now. You can invest in the Edmonton, Florida game. Let's take a look. 5 Republican Congress members condemn Israel missile strikes before July. Will there be 5 that condemn it before July? 22% chance over there right now. Lots of things. Let's take a look at what else there might be in these Kalshi markets. Over on politics, what will Powell say during the June press conference? Will quantitative tightening be brought up? Will recession be brought up? Will credit be brought up? Again, a fun way to experience, if you have a couple of extra bucks, politics. Who will be first to leave the Trump cabinet? Again, they keep saying Pete Hegseth, but I don't think that's it. I would maybe put money on Tulsi Gabbard tonight. I don't know. That might be that could be a very interesting market to get involved in. I need to get involved in these markets. Someone who doesn't need to get involved in markets, but is involved in everything that I do, is my friend Shell, who sounds like she's outside now. Hello, Shell.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you outside now? What are you doing, Shell? How did I lose you? Well,
Tim.
Yes. Okay, when Shell figures out how to use her phone, we're going to bring her back on. I don't understand what happened there, but I want to talk about all of the media coverage of this. So I was playing around on all of the websites for it. Obviously, they are all biased when you take a look at things when they aren't the Daily Signal, and everybody has their own take on it. Let's see if we can pull this up here. Here's Fox News covering it. Let's see if Shell can join us now. Shell, are you there?
I'm here. I'm so sorry. Got a call as soon as you brought me up.
Why? Don't take a call.
It was Brandon Strzok. So I muted him. I'll text him later.
Well, if he wants to come in, he can come in and we can talk about this. But
okay.
You can send him a link. Anyway, so listen, I want to talk about this because, again, if you go to the homepage of Fox News, I want to play around here. Front page of Fox News, top story, U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem closed for the remainder of the week. And then when you go here, Trump convenes Israel-Iran Situation Room meeting of the White House to weigh U.S. response. Okay, right? Go to CNN. And I don't understand why the CNN, I have a bar there. Top story. Trump demands unconditional surrender and warning to Iran. Again, Iran's secretive, heavily guarded nuclear site that's near impossible to destroy. We got one there. Again, very heavy. Inside Trump's decision to bail on the G7 early. Again, talking about the war. Go over to MSNBC. It's all about Trump. They literally are so thrown, and they have TDS so bad that the only thing that mentions Iran here on the top, again, you look at the top half of the page, it's all about the war, but it's all about Trump. Here's Tucker Carlson's faith in the Trump presidency. Trump is sounding more belligerent by the hour in Iran. Again, like this is pressed on Gabbard's Iran statement. Trump says, I don't care what she said. These are all, again, not talking about the war, not covering the war, but covering the reaction to Trump. It's time to retire this fact about Trump is their main story. Then you come down here, Israel-Iran war. Well, there we go. The website just reset. Israel-Iran war. And there's finally what appears to be coverage of the actual war itself, what's happening here in the top middle. And then Sabrina Carpenter's new album may be subversive, but it's not empowering. That's very important. Again, you see that they've got the bar here for Israel-Iran war. and then they go to Sabrina Carpenter because, again, priorities over at MSNBC. These are very important things for MSNBC to cover. Shell, what do you think?
This is insanity. I remember back in the days where, the very people writing these articles were standing in a war zone, screaming in a mic, showing you all of the people that were taking shelter or evacuating or the bombs coming in, what had just been destroyed, who had just been taken out or what have you. And now they can't do anything but talk about Trump.
This is a world-changing war. Whatever comes out of this, it's, there's a lot of opinions on it. It is a world-changing war. And MSNBC, it's just, they've clowned themselves.
They have no empathy for the people that this is happening to at all.
Also, no desire to cover the facts. I mean, again, like this is, look, I'm going to give, I hate to do this. I'm going to give CNN credit as I go back and forth between these sites. I don't know if you can see them or not on your phone, Shell, but like, again, CNN has live updates right here on the top left, live updates of what's happening because this is a very serious situation. They're not talking about somebody's reaction to Trump. They're talking about Trump's action, which is actual reporting. Look, I'm going to give them credit. They don't like Trump. I'm sure there is stuff that is buried in these articles and we can dig into them. That CNN doesn't like Trump, but they are covering the conflict. And then you go back, Fox obviously has it, and I'm going to go back to the homepage on Fox here so that you can see. They have live updates, obviously, here with this as well. Fox and CNN doing regular updates on and headline updates, and MSNBC, I want to reload the page. MSNBC is doing opinion of Trump. I'm so, like, they can't be taken seriously is the problem here.
No, and I think that's a big reason why the X platform has become so important is because you do have people that are worried about the facts and reporting the facts and giving you these breaking news stories way before MSNBC or, a CNBC is getting to them because they're so focused on Trump, and I mean, this mainstream media, they suck, dude.
They do. They do. Suck. I mean, look, that's by the way, Christian Radio Media says Tim and Shell, two of the best. Thank you guys. No problem. Thank you. And then of course, Jim Bob, who's one of my favorite people as well. When I hear all of your spaces, including Shell Shocked and all the other million things that you do nothing but run spaces and lives all day long. Thank you for taking time to hang out with me tonight. Shell is on with Tim. Repost this broadcast. You're definitely a dirty communist. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for getting involved in the conversation. I know there's a lot going on. It's also weird for me when I go to X for, there's a certain foreign guy right now he's got 225,000 concurrent viewers right now. Just doing live Iran-Israel bombing skyline videos. Like, it's weird to monetize war like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a scumbag.
You're not a scumbag, and you're right. That is weird. But some of these people, they're so low, they'll do anything. They just don't care.
It's true. It's true. Hey, I want to talk about this. There's a story that's going to be coming out. I know because I was told about this already. I might be one of the only influencers, period, who doesn't take money from foreign governments, because I don't. The only time I've taken money from a foreign entity, I would say ever, is when I was working for Great Britain News. And that's only because they were a news organization based in Great Britain, based in London.
Right.
So they paid me. That's fine. But like, I've never taken money from a government. It really appears to me, and I've been told confidently, that there's a lot of Chinese money going around on the internet right now, going to influencers to break up conservatives and break up MAGA.
You bet. They're strictly there to fracture this party. I think it's just so low. I really do. They're dangerous to their audience, and yet they have tremendous audiences, with their posts. They have these sycophants that just hang on every word that they say and think they're the most legitimate source on the planet, and they're not. And I think they're dangerous. And I don't like it. I've called them out several times in the last couple of days on social media. And they're horrible people. They're trash human beings, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people have, again, it's just very odd that you see people support Trump for so long and then turn on him. I understand having differences of opinions. It's hard for me to remember a time that I had a real difference of opinion with Trump, but I'm sure I have. I'm like realistically, like I got a copy of Project 2025 behind me. I liked a lot of the stuff in there that people didn't like either because I'm conservative to the max. But I don't. It's odd to see everyone go along with this for so long and then all of a sudden shift. And I understand having a difference of opinion, but there's some drastic like statements that are being made that are beyond I disagree with you. And maybe it's because people are so used to a black and white shock factor. I have to say certain things in order to get clicks. And maybe that's what's happening, but
It's emotion too. Emotions. If they keep people emotional, uh, Tim, they make a lot off of that. They really
yeah.
do. And as long as they can prick the next emotion and keep you engaged and keep you, watching just them and focused on them, they make that money. And it just makes me sick. It really does to manipulate people this way, and that's why they've turned on Trump. You know, it was shocking almost at first to me. And then I realized, oh, these mouth breathers, that's what it is. At first, I was like, X monetizing the platform just made it suck even worse, right? And these people, took advantage of it. And then now, though, they're getting this outside money, allegedly, and it's really changed that dynamic again. And that has made them manipulative, dangerous to their audience. And they don't care. They don't care what they're doing. They're going to do it because it fills their bank account.
I don't even think it's it's not intentional to like manipulate people because I've been in politics for a very, very long time, like 23 years now.
Can't
And
break up a party without manipulating them, Tim.
What?
You can't break up the conservative MAGA movement without, manipulating them.
That's true. That's true because I think everybody's kind of on the same page with all this stuff. I just, again, like I see what they're putting out there and it's just like, come on. Like who's this is I actually think that we've got if this conflict had broken out under Joe Biden, God help us, with a wide open southern border, I think it's bad enough. But I think we've got the right person in for the right time, and I trust my vote and I trust the decisions. I had last week on. I had Victoria Coates, who was Deputy National Security. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you have a long day. Deputy National Security Advisor for Donald Trump in his first administration, and we had talked briefly that what was coming from Iran was a real threat. This time, she was worried that she would have had to cancel my show because she was booked on she was on call for Fox at the same time,
Oh,
which was really cool. By the way, getting these really really cool, brilliant people to come on the show, including you, Shell. And come out of their character a little bit and talk about all the other fun stuff is fun, but there was some serious stuff going on, and she kind of like hinted at that. And this is what it was. I said, "Is this real this time, or is this one of those regimes?" I don't know if I asked her this on air or off air, but either way, I could tell you about it. I said, "Is this a real one this time, or is this one of those, like kind of North Korean threats?" And she goes, "Oh no, this is good. This is a real one." So,
wow.
and I
And
trust her.
it's
She has,
definitely real. I mean, look at the screen. You still have it up.
yeah,
And I'm looking at these headlines here, but I don't see not one that says that the White House has put a lid on for the night. Uh,
no.
why aren't they reporting that? There's a lid. Something serious is going on.
So I'm actually going to use CNN as a source for once. How about that? Jordanian air defenses intercept Iranian rockets. So look, if Jordan is in helping, again, this is another. I think the region is going to turn on them. I don't know. This is my weakest point. Like I am a media guy. I am a domestic policy to a point guy. But down on that scale, that's why I have EJ Antonio on all the time. Economics is way down at the bottom for me. Foreign policy. Here's another crazy concept that I have this. It's a crazy thing here, Shell. And here, let me see if I can play this without an ad. Nope, there's Subway. Look at this. Jordanian air defenses. It's a $5 foot long. But no, look, I am one of those people who, as a person with a show and with a little bit of reach, is the first to tell you I don't know something and I have no concept of things. So my opinion on foreign policy is meh. I don't like war. I don't think we should be spending our money on war, but I do think we should defend our allies. So that's just where we are. And the people who scream death to America, they probably don't like us. There you go. See, there's
Yeah.
Jordanian here.
They call Israel the little Satan and America the big Satan. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, we probably should defend ourselves.
So we're seeing missiles getting taken out by Jordanian air defenses. So again, the region is at war, and it's I'm going to be honest with you. Give credit where credit is due. Let's see what. So this is CNN. We've seen what MSNBC, by the way, still over here, floundering. Let's see what ABC News. I'll pull up ABC News. Again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due when we're covering this stuff, and then I'm going to get to the chat here. Sorry, guys, I've been a little ignoring you because I enjoy the conversation with Shell, obviously, but also I want to get through some of these and see what's happening here. So here's ABC News. Again, top story. Israel-Iran live updates. Trump spoke with Netanyahu, White House official says. So again, we're covering that. That is the main story with live updates. Exclusive Netanyahu interview, latest Israel-Iran conflict. But you go over to MSNBC and it's nonsense. Let's go to the chat really, really quickly here. Oh, hold on. Before we get there, Jim Bob, who is one of my favorites. Shell only wants to talk about Iran and drones, our two favorite topics.
He's a liar. He's a liar.
Hey, Tim, with the speculation of the U.S. maybe entering, what would be the best case scenario? That peace breaks out in the Middle East. There you go.
Yep, that's the best scenario.
Let's talk about how great Laura. I don't know what is she take. I don't know what her opinion is on anything. I don't have a problem with Laura. Give Shell the spotlight. That's right. Let's give Shell the spotlight. Shell, what do you think? Again, I want your opinion because you've gotten to see this and you pay attention more than I do because I'm running around all day long and you are running lots of things on X all day long. What is your opinion on, again, like you've seen influencers flip, and I don't want you to name them because I don't feel like playing this game where we name people and then they go, oh, grr. But like you've seen the shift, right? Where somebody is like ultra MAGA and then all of a sudden they flip and they're angry and they're like, why did I vote for this guy?
Yes, I've seen the shift. It's been quite prevalent, actually, many. And it's unfortunate because, you know, if they would just think about what it would be to be a commander in chief and not just what they voted for. They voted for all of this, whether they liked it or not. All right. The commander in chief, he's got to make decisions that are going to keep his assets and his country safe. Country first. He's always been America first. He's been trying to get peace talks done and an agreement made. All right. And then you have this pop off right in the middle of it. Unfortunate and very bad timing. But then, you know, you have MAGA looking at him, some of these influencers, and going, what is this? I mean, he couldn't possibly be thinking of putting boots on the ground, right? Why is he starting World War III? I mean, all of the hyperbole, right? So you're just like, please, the dramatics. Come on, guys. You know, at least learn a little bit about what these conflicts mean for America and what kind of decisions our commander-in-chief has to make, regardless. You know, F your feelings, right? That's how I've been looking at every one of their posts. F your feelings. I don't care. I want him to make the best decisions. They're going to bring us out on top of this.
Yeah. Here's Christian Radio Media agreeing with you. Trump's first priority is America, but if he has to protect it by going to war, he will. Yes.
I mean, if you get put in a corner, what do? You go, well, I made a promise, you know, for my voters, and I'm you know, I'm just going to let us get hammered.
Flood again, which is funny here. I do. That's a funny name. I don't think there has been a shift only in the media. I think there have been, but you have to remember now that part of the media and part of this coverage of everything is people's who hold themselves out to be media on X. I mean, Elon is right. We are the media now when it comes to X and people talking on there. But there are a lot of people who hold themselves out to be sources. There are a lot of people I've questioned. One of my friends, Marissa, has mentioned many times that she's like, how are these people getting these sources? This doesn't make sense to me. And we see one of those things. Actually, I'll bring that up and I'll pull something up here in a second. Which I don't, you know, I don't know what side to take on things, and I'm not going to take a side, but I'm going to show you something in a second that got my attention just before I came on here. But here we go. I think warmonger Ladybug Graham doesn't help with his excitement. Yeah, no, he's They are. The warmongers are going at it here. I mean,
War is money.
it's a big business.
Hmm.
So I want to show JD Vance responded to Dave Reboy here. Share this tab instead. Okay. So let's see if we can see this. I'll blow this up full screen. Okay, so Dave Reboy. So Trump posted on Truth. I've not reached out to Iran for peace talks in any way, shape, or form. This is just more highly fabricated fake news. If they want to talk, they know how to reach me. They should have taken the deal that was on the table, would have saved a lot of lives. And Kitty Pavlich posted that. Dave Reboy responded, he should probably find out who on JD's team is leaking to Politico and Axios. To which JD Vance defended his team, as I think a good boss would. He says, this loser who supported DeSantis in the 2024 primary is now attacking my team, which has been working tirelessly to implement the president's agenda. He has no evidence for this BS smear because there isn't any. Yeah. And then a lot of people weighing in against him. Please, everyone, take a deep breath. Dave, why do you think it was JD's team? Dave supported Trump as well. He did.
My question, real quick: who would leak to Axios? I mean, seriously,
I don't know.
You know,
really don't
if
know.
you wanted to leak some really good information, you'd leak it to somebody who's pretty legitimate, right? And I don't look at Axios as a legitimate news source. I'm sorry. So why would anybody leak information to them?
I'm not weighing in on any of this. I think everybody's just, I think that JD is defending his team, and I don't know who would. I don't know who in the hell in a Trump administration would be leaking to Axios or Politico. I don't think that they. I don't even know that I would be caught around those people if I was on the Trump team. So I have no idea where that's coming from. But I just look at this and it's like, where are people getting their sources from? I have seen people magically start getting sources and citing things that I've never seen before. By the way, everybody go ahead and hit repost on the broadcast. Thank you so much. Look at this. Repost the broadcast. We need 20K in here. Tim won't give me whiskey and Shell will fire me. That's fair. Everybody who's here right now, go hit that repost button. And it's always, that's the thing. Flood it again. It's always unnamed sources. Always. On both sides, regardless who is doing the reporting. It's not just the left. It's the right too, but it's a lot of, it's not, Fox is usually very good. I'm sorry to sound like I'm a shill for Fox News. I'm obviously not paid by them. They haven't booked me in a long time, although I do Will Kane's show every so often. I'm not a shill for Fox News, but I will say that they actually confirm things before they report them. But there are a lot of people who are very into this for the money on social media. And they jump on these stories, they fabricate stories, and they get things out there that are just there for the clicks.
They are. And, full transparency. Yeah. I work for Colonel Rob Maness. All right.
I think everyone knows that.
I run his show and I get I get, a lot of good inside stuff from him because he was in that war machine. He knows how this works. He knows, the decisions that have to be made, the things that need to be, tempered, even down to the equipment they use, everything. And even the nuclear codes and how all that, works because he did that. So I can confidently come out and say, in my opinion, but I don't think anybody could say, because of the information that they get from a sacred source, that could be true or false. I can. And that's the difference. At least, have some kind of a credibility behind you. And these people don't, in my opinion. They're just shilling. And I don't care for it. And again, I can't tell you enough how dangerous that I think that is.
Well, there's something to people on social media who have never been famous before, and people who are in media. Again, like they say DC is Hollywood for ugly people. They're finally getting this little bit of attention, and you get 100,000. You should be at 100,000 followers, Shell, but that's just another conversation for another time. Yeah. But there are so many of these people who get 100,000, 200,000 views by just reposting other stories, and then suddenly they're starting to break stories. I'm telling you now, there's just a lot of BS out there, including not just the coverage, but then claims that people are getting these threats and they're getting attacked. I really highly doubt a lot of the things that we're seeing from people. I truly highly doubt a lot of this stuff. And I'll tell you why, just honestly why. And like I see things sometimes from these influencers, and I know some people have been swatted and whatever. But if you're going to swat somebody, I'd probably be on that list, and it's never happened. I get death threats, but they're idle. People don't know where I am and all that kind of stuff. But like, it just, there are things that don't add up. There are
Many
things that
things
don't add
that
up.
don't add up. Many
And
things.
and I said this because I know that my buddy Chase Geyser was actually swatted. It was disgusting. It was horrible for his family, and I feel for him. But right after that, I just don't know that I believe everyone else's story after that. And I know that sucks, and it sounds, inhumane and the whole thing. But I just, when I watch the same people go around and collect money from making up fake news and throwing things out there. I sound like a liberal right now, by the way. I sound like somebody. So just to cover this, just to recap, Shell, I've not only said that CNN has done decent reporting on this today,
You're compromised.
but
Oh, no.
now I'm going on to say that there's fake news. That there are people on X that post fake news to cash in.
Yes.
I've gone full libtard tonight.
I'm right there with you. I mean, I'll just say I'm a libtard too for the night, because I'm right there with you. I don't think that we have very many responsible citizen journalists. We can name a few. I think Nick Sorter is doing a really good job.
Great job.
Yeah, and a few others, but I mean the other ones, I don't know if they're just legends in their own minds, if
Yeah.
they really, think that they're reporting something that's good. They don't trust and but verify. They don't do anything that, gives their audience any justice. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
frustrating to watch.
By the way, if you don't know, it's Hot Tamale 02. And it's
Yes.
it's tagged in this. Make sure you guys hit the retweet button if you're enjoying this. I want to make sure we get, like Jim Bob said, I'm gonna, I won't, he won't get any whiskey, and Shell will fire him if we don't get to 20,000 on this live, which we will. I just, again, it's disheartening for me, right? And part of what I do, and I'm not gonna. This is obviously not part of my job here, but part of what I do at Heritage is I kind of get to comment on media bias and things that are happening that are negative. And it's wild to me. It's just absolutely wild to me, the biased coverage and what happens. And it's bad enough when it's just lefties. But then when you see people on the right, like throwing around fake news, literal fake news, it's a problem. It's a real problem. And
It
when war
is.
breaks out, it's a big way to cash in and make an awful lot of money.
It is. And a lot of the screaming that I see right now, I don't know if you noticed this, but Tucker Carlson's making some pretty big waves here. But he's made also legitimate statements. But they're attacking him like, he has just thrown his crown away for some reason. And that's not true. He's not anti-Trump. He's just, anti-war. And why should he pick a side? I'm with him. This is humanity we're dealing with here. We don't want Israelis killed. We don't want, Iranians killed. We want the bad guys killed, right? But not the citizens, people, that were cheering in the streets saying, they need the regime change. They want to be free again in Iran. You've got to be cheering for them, right? What's wrong with Tucker Carlson reporting the way he's reporting? And now you have all the influencers telling him, you're doing this wrong, and screaming. And it staggers my mind. It really does, because he's been unleashed. He can say what he wants to say now, and I'm proud for him. I really am. But if they're the ones who can judge Tucker Carlson, we're in big trouble. Big trouble.
So this is just coverage, and I can't wait to see what the breakdown is going to look like when they, because I'm sure right now, by the way, Media Research Center, a great organization. If you guys don't follow them, Media Research, and I'm going on their cruise here coming up at the end of August, because I'm a paid shill. No, they just They're giving me free cruise tickets. And I'm going to go help and hang out with Kevin Sorbo and a bunch of other great people on this cruise. But this is just the coverage from this weekend. And so what they're doing right now, and God bless the people over at MRC and Newsbusters, they are probably watching every minute of coverage, and they take notes on every minute of the coverage at MRC of this. And so I'm gonna pull up this full report in a second here. But this is just the coverage of the LA riots, right? 211 mentions of something similar to mostly peaceful protests on CNN and MSNBC. Only one mention calling it a riot. And this is after hours of, and I'll pull up this full report because I always respect this. Bill D'Agostino, I probably said that wrong. I just call him Bill. Goes through, and these guys literally, they note every time. Look at this. I'm on this. This is the cruise to Norway. You want to go to this? Hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. This is now it's turned into an advertisement, Shell. Hold, please, Shell. I'm going to this. The cruise to Norway, August 30th through September 6th. Media Research Center 7-day cruise to Norway. The speakers, am I on here? David Bozell. Brent Bozell's going to be there. Joe Concha. Tim Graham. If I'm on this, I'm at the bottom. Dana Lash. Larry O'Connor, Dan Schneider, like that guy. Kevin Sorbo, I've known Dan Schneider for a long time. Sam Sorbo, Michelle Tafoya, love her. Alan West, he's there. There I am.
There you are. You go,
Did
Tim.
someone scream in the background? I just heard like a scream.
Yes, one of my children. Sorry about
that was good. They sounded like they were legitimate. And look at, can I just tell you something? Look at this. Look at that bio. Look at that hell of a bio. It's such a big bio. These people, oh, he's got a bigger one. But like, you got to scroll on it. I'm so excited to be there. I'm a speaker on this cruise to Norway. How about them apples?
I'm so proud for you.
I'm excited. And yeah, in addition to the wonderful activities aboard the MS Rotterdam and Port, this exclusive Media Research Center event includes, by the way, I'm just doing this because I forgot to do a video for them the other day, so I'm covering this right now. They asked me to do a video the other day and I forgot. In addition to all this, moderated panel sessions featuring your esteemed guest speakers. I'm going to be moderating some of these. That's what I do. They're bringing me out there like, just talk. Hey, dance monkey. That's what they tell me. They go, we gave you some nugget. You got free chicken nuggets. Go dance. So yeah. I'm going to read this. I didn't get a chance to read this whole thing. Let's go back to the media coverage here. Sorry, Shell. I broke into,
right.
You never know on the show. I break into advertisement.
I'm used to you.
I am. By the way, we're getting more advertisers. I'm very excited about this coming up pretty soon here. I heard there's a clothing brand that may be getting involved. I had a call with today, so I'm very excited.
Oh, nice.
Also, big news from Timland. I was told in the next 3 months or so, I'm going to have a studio built for me down the road from a potential friend of mine that runs a little cigar thing. There's a little thing that might be coming. So we might have a little something coming. I told people already, I want my show to be like a NASCAR driver by the time I'm done with this. I will wear logos all over myself if everything. I'm a paid shill. Okay, I don't know what this is. I'm going to read it on air. This is scary. The Iranians want to be free, and they can do it on their own. Just like all the asylum seekers that poured across our border, they can fix their own shit. They are not worth our blood. You cannot simply hand someone freedom, as they will never respect it. They must fight for it on their own, or it's just another Iraq. Yeah, well, I mean, that may be one of the strategies here is to empower them.
I mean, he has a point. But look, you also had Joe Biden telling us, that if you want to take on the U.S. government, you're going to need nukes and planes, right?
F-15s. They famously said you got to have F-15s. He goes, he doesn't even understand why we have a Second Amendment, because you can't come after us if you don't have F-15s.
Right. So these people are kind of in that same position. They've got a regime telling them, don't even try it, right? And I get that they need to free themselves. I get it. Rise up, do the work, all the good stuff. I get it. But even America had that warning put on us.
Yeah. I mean, but again, can you just imagine what would be happening right now if we'd probably be sending reinforcements to Iran if Biden was in?
Oh, no doubt. It would have already been done.
I mean, it's just like...
they got reinforced with cash during the Obama administration, right?
By the way, can I just mention again, You know, sometimes these conservative influencers have been busted by the things they look at and the targeted ads. That was Topps baseball cards. and
Oh.
now and now a Range Rover Sport. Like I always like it when I get these targeted ads. It's like toys. Here we go over here on this tab. They're following me.
What, the Pokemon cards aren't on there? So disappointed.
I ordered some today, Shell.
Did you?
I did. I ordered some from Japan.
That's awesome.
I have a problem, and now that I don't have a dependent in the house, I can order Pokemon cards for myself all I want. And so, you know, a single guy like me, what am I doing? Hey, now let's zoom in. Hold on, let's get this out of here just to have a little personal talk. Oh,
Okay.
F-15's on Jim Bubs. Wasn't the F-15? What was the one that Pepsi had to pay out? Remember they did the Pepsi points in like the early 90s, and on the commercial they were like, "LOL, you get this plane if you get like 100 million Pepsi points," and somebody did it.
I don't remember that.
Hold on.
I don't remember that at all. But Jim Bob, keep living the dream.
Jet. Yep, it's the first story that comes up. Okay, so hold on. Let's pull this up because this is so Jim Bob, you missed your window here. So in 1996, Pepsi ran a promotional campaign called Pepsi Stuff, where customers could redeem Pepsi points for various prizes, including a Harrier jet featured in a humorous commercial. However, the jet was clearly meant as a joke. I feel like that's written. So the commercial depicted a teenager arriving at school in a Harrier jet, which was presented as a prize available for 7 million Pepsi points. The commercial did not explicitly state that the jet offer was a joke, nor did it include any fine print disclaimers. So a guy named John Leonard, who was a business student, took the commercial seriously. Yeah, I bet he did. And discovering that Pepsi points could be purchased directly, decided to try and claim the jet. Then he sued them. He sent the necessary points and a check to PepsiCo, but the company refused to honor his offer, claiming it was a joke. Leonard then sued Pepsi Company. In the case, Leonard v. PepsiCo, it went to court. The judge ultimately ruled in favor of Pepsi, stating that no reasonable person would interpret the commercial as a serious offer. I don't know.
I don't know either, because that chick who set the cruise control in her Winnebago and then went back to her kitchen and made a sandwich and wrecked, she sued Winnebago and won. Because it wasn't in the fine print that cruise control was not a self-driving mechanism.
As Jim Bob said, 5,000 more followers keeps him from getting fired and sober. And that would be terrible for Jim Bob. So everyone go hit the retweet button. Let's get this to 20,000. I'm happy to be here tonight. My Sunday night shows have been blowing up. And we had 89,000 on Sunday night. It might be because I had my adorable baby Nugget director of operations, Trinity, on there.
That's awesome.
But but this Harrier jet that is what the guy wanted to claim for 7 million Pepsi points. That's not a bad deal. And X Mariner actually here says there's an actual Netflix documentary on Pepsi. Where's my jet? That had to be fun to see.
I'm gonna look that up because I want to see that.
I mean, that is something that happened. But yeah, so back to me because I like talking about myself. Hold on, let's get
Oh, by the way, I love the Harrier jet.
Right?
Yeah, if it was an F-22, I'd be all over that.
It's so weird. One day I need to like send you like a ring light or something. Somebody that you work for should send you a little setup so that you have a camera so that you're not.
Well, I'm gonna surprise you here, Tim. I got it. All I have to do is set up my system now.
Oh my God.
I got a boom mic. I got a Shure microphone.
I just look at this. Hold on. Like one day there will be a face here.
There will be next Monday.
I've seen your face. Next Monday.
Yes, I'll be set up for everything.
And I will tell you this, Shell, you're the one person, I told you this before the show. Anytime we go live, when you're in the chat, I'm happy to bring you in. As long as it's not like somebody who's like a super hefty guest, I'll bring in. But also like you're fine with that anyway. But like, you know, sometimes I might have a national security person on. Like last week, I when I had on Victoria Coates, who by the way has an aura. Like she's so important. She has an aura. There are some people in that building, that heritage building, aura. And I brought her in and I didn't take any questions because I'm a jerk from the audience when she came on because I just wanted to talk to her about everything that was going on with the heavier stuff and I didn't want people to weigh in with nonsense. So that's right, I didn't trust the audience for a minute and shame on me or not, who cares?
Who cares? I mean, come on. That was your shot. That was your opportunity. They
Come
didn't
on.
do the work. Why would you give them a question?
I know exactly. I just like the pulse. Can I change your? I wonder if I can do anything here to like change mirror camera, hide camera, keep audio, replace, remove. No, I want to do something like. Oh, can I custom? I can customize it. Oh, I can make you a little circle.
Oh, very cool.
I don't know. All right, we'll play with this later. You're a circle now, Shell.
Okay.
But no, I just have some extra money to spend now because I don't have to, I'm not dating. So there's nothing here's life advice for you fellas out there. If you're not dating, number one, lose weight. Like I'm working on that. That saves a lot of money on food. Number one, because I just go get my pack of ground beef or turkey. You know this. This is one of our very first conversations. Shell meets me on Getter. One day I talked to her for like 5 minutes about my journey to go get turkey meat.
Yeah, 5 hours.
5 hours. Oh, yeah, 5 hours.
Yeah, it was like 5 hours. Yeah.
What were we doing? Nothing.
No, I was listening to you vacuum pack and get your air dryer.
Oh, that's right. That's
You're-
right. Because I did the whole shebang. I was like meal prepping for the week.
Yep, meal prepping the
Which
whole
is
thing.
what I
Yep.
do now. And so I meal prep, and then I think to myself, what could we do other than meal prep, Shell?
Right.
And
Another
of course,
exciting call that I got from you was about salmon. That was thrilling.
I
Tell me how-
I live a life of luxury. You're like, what is Tim Young doing his free? He meal preps, and then he walks, and then he takes meetings all day long, and then he yells.
Yep.
And then, just to top it off, because I say, why not just live the best life as a single guy? I buy Pokemon cards.
I think you had just gotten attacked. We both got blocked. And at the same time, we were on the phone with you cruising the Pokemon cards and telling me which ones you were going to choose as we were, clapping back at the kid of the baseball player, whatever his name.
Oh, the other day.
Yeah.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
your name out. All right. So keyboard warriors here. And is it a he or a she keyboard warrior? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm gonna go with the they them. I'm gonna go they them on them. I'm gonna give them.
Oh, you did not just use pronouns.
Getting they them.
I mean, if you were going to go full libtard tonight, I might have rethought coming on with you.
I am. Why is it? It's a he. Keyboard warrior is a he. It's a he they. And okay, so why is the U.S.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why is it the U.S. government can't release all the Epstein list, but they know for sure Iran has nukes? Wow, that sounds like two. That sounds like two different.
Can I rant on that for a second?
Take a crack at it, ma'am.
Okay, so Epstein's dead. I don't know what knowing who's on the list will do for you. I do know, right? I don't. I mean, how is it going to change your life?
I wish you had. I wish I could see your face right now.
I would rather concentrate on the 300,000 plus children that are missing now, and the predators now that haven't been hung themselves in a jail cell yet. Those are the ones that I would like. Okay, I'd like to see a list on them so we can start getting them under control.
I agree, but why can't we have both?
I mean, I get it. I really do. But I think that, if anybody thinks they're going to release that anytime soon.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah. You're just fooling yourselves. And I don't like the fact that, these people said, if I'm confirmed on day one, or if I'm elected on day one, and it was all Epstein, and then we got the silent treatment on it. Or some fluff about it. And we had influencers, again, the influencers coming out of the White House with their little, talking points, and it was a nothing burger. So, I'm over all of it right now. I am.
I want to thank someone who we have a mutual friend who doesn't like me that kept me off that list. And I know that it was done intentionally because he was trying to be mean.
Really?
Somebody done saved me an embarrassing moment from me not getting invited to that group with that group of influencers that went to the White House and got those white binders.
I'm so happy.
Thank you for not liking me. You saved me. Could you imagine And again, I wasn't there, so the scenario didn't happen. But could you imagine if I would have come out of the White House with one of those binders?
No, I would have called you immediately.
You hear that? The flushing of my career and legitimacy.
Yep.
But
I would have called you immediately.
I've asked somebody for that. Oh my God, Becky. Look at that big butt. Who said big butts? Butt. I have big butts, and I cannot lie. Oh my God, Becky. It was. See, I'm in the chat tonight. I'm making up for not talking to the chat when Victoria.
I love it.
Blessing in disguise. Absolutely a blessing in disguise that I was not invited to the White House that time that they had those binders. Absolutely. Thank you, Jesus. And I mean that, like, not even speaking hyperbolically. Thank you. Because that there's no coming back from it. I would have had to like point fingers at the White House.
What did you think when you first saw that?
It's bullshit. This is such a hefty topic to me, and it should be a hefty topic for the world. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing, looking over here on the side, I have a problem with these like squeezy toys, and this is again. Hey Tim, why are you single? Oh, I know why. Because I got a s'mores squishy toy that I sit here and play with and the marshmallows like extra. Anyway, got that on the table. What was I saying, Shell? I got distracted by my toy.
It should be spoken about. It should be a hefty topic.
Oh yeah. So when that happened, I thought to myself, like, why isn't this a press conference with all 50 attorneys general? And why wasn't it pushed that way? Why wasn't it released to if it's so serious, why wasn't it released in a very serious manner? Jim Bob, by the way, reminding everyone, if we get 30,000, he does get a bonus of 1 dozen eggs, which is currently valued at like $2. But back in the day, that was a bigger thing. Jim Bob is from the country, and so he's not familiar with the prices haven't hit him yet, and he doesn't. For some reason, he's in the country and doesn't have some chickens.
Actually, he's in Oregon, so his prices might be just a little bit higher.
They might be. By the way, ex-Mariner, I'm wearing a Mariners hat tonight. That's very. Are you in? You know what? To be honest with you, I've been single for a bit. I could use a binder full of women to sort through. And that's what what I'm saying.
I have no words for that.
It's tough out here. I got to get that binder full of women.
That's
binder full of conservative women. Do I have a break? I had one of my friends today who's a big executive in conservatism. She was like, "I'd love to set you up with somebody, but I don't know who." I'm like, "Yeah, me, you and me both."
You guys quit distracting Tim. I want to know why this should be the hefty topic that should be continuing.
Hold on. What? Oh, the
binders.
The binders? Hold on.
The stunt.
Hold on. Keyboard Warrior says, "Bro, I just tried dating some person online, made it to my phone number, and then got asked if I voted for Trump." Oh, see, so here's the thing that helps me with it around here is and hold on. See, we're going off the rails, Shell, because the comments are good.
Let's go.
What's up with the hat and shirt? Well, I wear a hat and a shirt. Thank you. Ex-Mariner. Yeah, I noticed that. He's an actual Mariner. Well, that's awesome. You're smarter than me because you're an engineer. The binder thing, why should this continue?
Oh, to be a hefty subject, a hefty topic.
A hefty topic? Because... Yes. I think it discredits. There are a few things. Well, number one, when they released the Epstein stuff, it should be something that the attorneys general should have been informed of immediately. That should have been something that they worked on, because you're going after the most powerful people in the world who are running a pedophile ring. That goes without saying. So, like, if you're an influencer who's there, and I've said this a million times, and you're being handed a binder with this hefty information in it, why do you not look at it and go, "Why me? Why me? Why am I getting this? Why is this not going somewhere bigger? Why is it, me and the goof troop here that are getting it?" Because there were a couple people there. Look, there were a couple legitimate people there, and then there was the goof troop was there too.
Yeah, agreed. It's unfortunate that even happened, to be honest with you, because that just burned my faith in influencers even more.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. That's just so disappointing.
Oh, by the way, Reed says the only way to attract women is to give up on dating. Well, I tell you what, I don't just give up on dating. I just openly discussed buying Pokemon cards to open and collect. That is the opposite. I'm not sure exactly how far on the opposite of not dating you can go, but I think that talking openly about and then getting distracted by basically a big chew toy for adults. I think that's pretty much as opposite of dating as you can get. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty opposite. But, sometimes the best things come along when you're not looking for them.
Well, Shell, here you are. Had a guest cancel on me and you came along tonight.
That's because I'm your friend.
Look at us. Who would have thought? I can't wait for you to have a camera. This is very exciting. You're gonna have to do you're gonna have to do I know that you just roll out of bed and do these lives sometimes. Now you're gonna have to put a little effort in. Like me.
Oh yeah.
I put on a different hat every night. Pretty much the same outfit every day though. Same shirt. I
love your hat collection, Tim. You have the most extensive ball cap collection I've ever seen. Honestly.
I have about 400, I think, and I need to see. Hold on, I might have a photo of it. I should post a photo online of it. I finally organized it. Here we go. Here's just some of it. This is a corner of my steps. That is just some of the collection there.
Yeah, and you have some hanging too, I think.
Oh, I've got a ton that are hanging. But you see my State of America hat is right there. I got my Trump hat there. And I have basically every baseball team. And I have a problem.
So do you have special hats for special events?
I do.
That's so awesome. Are they snarky for the event?
No.
Or, themed or...
So when I went to YWLS this weekend, the Young Women's Leadership Summit, I wore, and I used to have them up here, but I've cleaned the house. By the way, before I get to that, I just want to say my director of operations, I call her director of operations, Trinity, that little baby Trinity, little sweet baby Trinity. Last week, she watches the show. I don't know why she watches the show. She thinks it's part of her job. She doesn't get paid extra for this. But she watches the show, and she texted me on Wednesday, because I do Sunday through Thursday. And she goes, "Hey, so we're going with the same outfit all week, huh?" And she noted that I wore the same clothes all week.
That is worrisome, Tim.
Well, why would I change? Nobody sees me.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, you have more clothes.
I have a lot of clothes. I mean, you see the hats. I do. So anyway, when I say that to say this, when I went to the YWLS, which was a fantastic event for young women and me, I went to it, and I wore the Round Rock. They have an alternate hat, the Dance Halls hat, and I thought that was a very nice. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up. Round Rock Dance Halls, and I pick hats that are specific to
events.
Sorry. Yes. And this is a totally sold out hat. It is a ballin' hat that I love to wear, and good luck finding it because they're sold out. Other than certain, I love that hat.
And that is pretty slick.
Because I said I want to have something, and it says Dance Halls on the side, and it's got a really cool bill that has dancing stuff on it, boots and stuff. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to go hang out with young women, then at a nice young women's leadership conference event, it was me and Charlie Kirk and the vice president of Liberty University, Ryan, who's awesome, who's going to come on the show. And that was it. And the bartenders, who I got to know real well.
So was the hat a big hit?
Nobody realized. No, 2 people said something about it. Nobody cared. They were security checked my badge so many times because I'm there doing my hoodie thing. They checked my badge. I literally asked the guy where the men's room was because they had rebranded some of the men's bathrooms for women at YWLS. And so I was like, "Hey, where's the men's bathroom?" It was a quarter-mile walk down the hallway to get to the men's bathroom, right? I'm not kidding. They actually, it's they reverse, they because you have a million women there, and you get whatever limited bathrooms. So I asked the security guy where the bathroom was, and I went to the bathroom. I'm just having a normal conversation. I come out, and he basically all but patted me down.
Because you were wearing a hoodie.
Well, I had my VIP badge on, and I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "You need to turn that badge around more." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Dude, I don't look at my badge. Like, I don't walk around with my head down staring at my badge the entire time. Also, I'm not being creepy. Like, I asked you where the men's room was. Like, it was just."
Power trip.
By the way, Reed just ordered one of these squishy. I don't know where I got this from, the squishy s'mores, but it is so calming to like play with a squishy s'more. Ex Mariner says he was always called overrated plumber as a mariner and engineer. Again, Jim Bob saying, "What a treat! Two of my favorite people in the same broadcast." Is this you? Are you Jim Bob? I've heard Jim Bob speak, but do you have like a voice changer?
No,
Okay.
no.
believe you.
I don't know why he's sucking up big time. He must want a promotion. I have no idea.
Sorry, I missed tonight. Neighbors mode. Neighbors mode, so I had to mow. Ice picked up my long guys. Before I paid them, at least. It's
Did you see the video of that?
it's pro
Yes.
America to
Yes.
well, go ahead.
There's a lady, I got to tell you, there's a lady on there going, now you have to wash your own dishes and clean your own house. And now you have to do your own laundry and you have to do your own yard work. And she's just livid. And it's all because of Donald Trump and ICE.
Terrible. What a
I
tough life.
was,
What a tough life these people have to live now.
right? I mean, her tragedy, right? Holy crap.
What a terrible time. We only have about 4 minutes left, so if you guys want to ask any questions or say anything in the chat, let me know while I play with my squishy s'mores tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Shell, what a great
Yes.
last minute fill in. I was supposed to promote a movie for someone tonight, but they ghosted me.
Well, I
And-
mean, it happens.
Nah, well, my little baby nugget is very angry right now.
Oh,
Yeah, she respects the business.
I do too. And I'm a little heated myself. You can tell her that I share her pain because I just lost our guest for tomorrow. So after the show, I will have to rebook for the Rob Maness show.
If I had any kind of free time, I'd do it, but I can't. I
No,
literally, my schedule is so bricked solid that like we have a friend who has a morning show and he asked me to do the morning show. It's like 6:30 my time. I just can't do it. I like physically can't get up and do it anymore. I love him though, but like, it's hard. You know who I just
It is
referenced,
hard.
but yeah.
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
like getting me up that early, man. No, I have meetings. Monday I came back and I had meetings from 8 a.m. till I did the show. So like 8 till like 9. And then today was about the same thing. Bricked up.
Bricked up. Like the bricks at the riots, right? You know what's funny about that, Tim?
Yeah.
Is everybody always catches the pallets, right? Ooh, there's a picture of the pallet. How come nobody ever catch the guys that are bringing them in on, the forklifts? That's never
One would think.
noticed, or where is that footage? I mean, come on.
Well, they get beamed down from outer space. All right, I want to shout out our sponsors again really quickly here. Hold on, I'll just go over to I'm not sponsored by the Round Rock dance halls. But here we go. So if you go over to Kalshi.com/Tim Young, again, you can take a look at will there be a new U.S. Iran nuclear deal this year? It may not need one. 37% chance it's dropped. Earlier it was 56.8 on June 17th. That was earlier today. Now it's down to 37% chance because may not need one. But you can get involved over on Kalshi.com/Tim Young, or just go to Kalshi.com. I just like having my name on there because I do have my own targeted kind of thing that shows that you guys go over there. Will Jerome Powell be out as chair this year? 10% chance. I don't think he's going to be out. I don't think it's very hard. And deportations in Trump's first year. The forecast right now is 375,000. And that's again, you can go and play around on Kalshi.com and see all that stuff. Also, before I let you go, Shell, I'm going to run my little commercial again. I want to thank our friends over at the American Beverage Association who support America and are proud to talk about how they support the American dream. Hang on one second, Shell, and I'm going to run this commercial.
Our nation is standing up for American workers, restoring the pride of making products here at home. That's what we do every day. We're America's beverage companies, making American products with American workers in America's hometowns, delivering brands that have been enjoyed for generations, creating good-paying jobs, the kind that require only a strong work ethic. Because we believe in the promise of America and the people who make it great.
I want to thank the American Beverage Association. And before we go, of course, as well, go over and hang out with this nice lady. Welcome to Shell Shocked with Shell right there. You're going to see her face a lot more. Is this pulled up? There it is. Nope, it's not. There we go. Let's make it bigger. And let's bring in Shell. Everybody should go follow Shell right now on Shell Shocked. Hot Tamale 02, because Hot Tamale 01, as we all know, was taken. Very popular.
It actually was taken by me. It got suspended the day that Trump went down. My account went down also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Hot Tamale 02, and she is becoming one of the more prolific hosts on X, and works probably more than me hosting things on X. So I'm very happy to call her a friend and happy that she's here to hang out with us. And one more thing. Hold on, because we're not done yet. Yeah, if you get a chance, where are we at here? Nope, not that one. No. Let me hold on. Let's show Shell Shocked again. There we go. And then Newsbusters. And I want to see, there we go. Here we go. If you want to go and join us on the cruise to Norway, MRC's cruise to Norway. What a great time it's going to be. It's Holland, America, Rotterdam, August 30th through September 6th. David Bozell, the president's going to be there, as well as everybody else you can think of. Is this showing high? Good. It's showing on the full screen. That's what's important here.
It looks great.
Great. David Bozell, Brent Bozell, who's incredible, Joe Concha, Tim Graham, Dana Lash, Larry O'Connor, Dan Schneider, Kevin Sorbo, Sam Sorbo, Michelle Tafoya, Alan West, Brad Dacus, and of course, yours truly, Tim Young, will be there for a whole week. What a great time. Everyone will be there. Michelle Shocked. I haven't heard about, what was it? I haven't heard about them in a long time. No, Shell Shocked and Pirate Radio on X, and Jim Bob is there all the time. You guys will be there as well, because of course you will continue hearing from that nice lady that I talked to all night long. Shell, thank you for being here with me.
Thanks for having me, Tim. This was a lot of fun. I like when we go all over the map. I really do.
I have no choice but to, because I can't stay focused. Obviously,
that's all right.
That's why I've got my little chew toy over here to keep me.
It's always a great ride, dude. It's always a great ride.
Well, I've got to go because there's a lady waiting outside that I need to go see in the parking lot.
Okie doke. Thank you for having me.
That didn't sound shady at all.
No. I mean, I know why she's there, but we don't need to let it.
No, that didn't. Nope. That didn't sound any better either.
Well, okay, that's true, but have fun.
I will. All right. Goodbye, ma'am. Thank you, guys. Make sure you go hit the retweet button one more time on this whole to-do. And I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow night, where we have a great guest, Corey DeAngelis, the school choice evangelist, will be here. And he is a guy. Let me tell you something. I had him on a live today with My Brain is Fried, with the Heritage Foundation. We did our digital town hall. And that guy, boy, oh boy, he is the best of the best when it comes to school choice. Good night, Nice Ice Baby. I think that's the way to do it. From one Mariner to a phony Mariner wearing a baseball cap. Guys, good night. Shell, thank you for being here, ma'am.